Do you remember the time when I posted an almost identical video to this, but I was told that I should avoid potatoes? I was given unwanted and unsolicited health advice when I was minding my own business, just making a cooking video, but I was told that I needed to avoid potatoes. Do you remember that? Do you remember how fat people and thin people are not allowed to exist in the same way on the internet? You remember that? Again, no hate to this guy. I have no issue with him, and I don't hate him. I'm also not mad at him either. I am using his video as an example to compare how thin people and fat people are not treated the same way. So,
this claim is absurd when it's clear he does not make high-calorie meals a habit. Just because she can't control her own cravings doesn't mean she gets to police others' rare treats. Time to put down the judgment and maybe the fork too.
How can I avoid potatoes when I'm 1?
Throughout this video, we will throw some practical tips how to overcome hunger.
We need to talk about these two images and why they're used in elementary school classrooms and why it is fucked up and causes eating disorder and body dysmorphia. Let's get into it. Growing up, I looked like this. I was a big bitch, still am. I'm Armenian. We got big hips, we got big asses, and most importantly, we got some tummy. I was young and I looked like this and I was bullied. I still get made fun of for my fucking body. I don't give a shit. But the problem is, growing up as a child, if I ate any of these unhealthy foods and I was still a little heavy, my fault. You're fat, you're stupid. Look at you fucking eating like that. Do you want to get diabetes? But we see a skinnier person, let's say they're having a burger and it's a personality trait. Oh my God, it's funny. Like, look, they're so skinny. They have such a high metabolism. Wish I was them. No. Health is not determined by what you see on the outside. You can be looking like this guy and you can be healthier than what this guy is. This is not okay to teach children that what you look like determines what you are in the.
Similar to previous one. The quality of food matters in terms of health, but the quantity for weight. Of course, chubby person can be healthier than a thin one, but does that make fat people healthy?
You were telling me a person that only eats McDonald's is healthier than a person that eats veggies. Just go to the gym. Geez.
Sometimes what you think is hunger is actually just thirst. So, drink a glass of water before you reach for a snack.
Well, I want you to try this because it's the green vegetable. Every time I've tried to cook her a little something extra, she just refuses. Just try a little taste. I can't.
First time she's refused to eat.
I bet that fork gets real steady when you put some cake in front of her.
Try hiding it in a double cheeseburger with bacon.
Protein-rich foods can help you feel fuller for longer. Include foods like eggs, meat, tofu, or legumes in your meals.
Let's say that fat person you're commenting on does have a binge eating disorder. Let's say they do overeat. Do you think your comment is going to help them out? Do you think it's going to be really helpful in their recovery? Do you think you're telling them something they haven't already heard? What kind of audacity does that take?
But yet you're judging someone who you think may not have Tourette's. Good job.
The comment may not have any influence on them since anyhow they are gonna overeat, but it may have positive meaning and spark inspiration and motivation in others.
The last time that I did walk, I took a screenshot. This is a screenshot. As you can tell, some photos down there. I walked for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. It was outside, a little bit of hill. So I'm very proud of myself for that. That makes me really just excited. I don't know. I remember a few months ago when I can only do 1 minute and 16 seconds.
This video is longer than her walk.
Don't forget fiber. Fiber slows down digestion and keeps you feeling satisfied. Load up on vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and beans.
We talk about thin privilege, and this is a really good example. So I am making my breakfast, and I have a piece of pizza from Domino's left that I didn't finish last night, and it sounded really good, so I'm eating it. Because I exist in a smaller body, you're probably like, wow, good for her. Like, She has food freedom. She doesn't restrict herself. She doesn't say pizza's only dinner food, things like that. But now I want you to think, if I was in a bigger body, would you still be thinking the same things? Would you still say good for her? Or would you say, are you sure you want to eat that? Something to think about.
As previous ones, a classic case of cherry picking to push a fat acceptance narrative. The speaker wants to blur the lines between occasional indulgence and unhealthy habits. Just because someone in a smaller body eats a leftover piece of pizza for breakfast doesn't mean they're celebrating food freedom. It's likely just an occasional choice. On the other hand, pretending that consistently making unhealthy food choices has no consequences, regardless of body size, is disingenuous. The reality is that there's a difference between celebrating moderation and ignoring the health implications of regular poor dietary habits. It's not about shaming anyone. It's about being honest about the long-term effects of those choices.
Sometimes, we eat out of boredom or stress. So find a distraction. Keeping your mind occupied can help you determine if you're actually hungry or just looking for something to do.
Comment on your body don't actually care about your health, or they wouldn't say shit like that.
If you've ever had the misfortune of being on the receiving end of a "I'm just concerned about your health," you know how uncomfortable that made you. Defensive, irritable. It was not a good experience. Because that shit is manipulative. Because if I have any reaction that's not appreciative or apologetic for the way that my body looks, I'm unreasonable. I'm overreacting. But I just love you so much that I care. You love me so much that you're like, I'm worried you're gonna die. Surely this will have no effect on my mental health at all. And I'm sure that a lot of people that say it, it's not coming from a place of malice, but it is coming from a place of stigma and shame. And science has shown you literally cannot shame someone into lifelong behavioral change. You might see temporary changes, but the reality is self-hatred and health cannot coexist in your body. Think what you want, but you can keep it to yourself.
But ignoring the reality of health risks associated with certain lifestyle choices isn't helpful either. The idea that any mention of health concerns is automatically stigmatizing or shaming misses the point. Labeling all concern as stigma is a convenient way to avoid uncomfortable truths.
Plan your meals and snacks. When you have a plan, you're less likely to reach for unhealthy options.
Are y'all Barbie girls or black girls? Barbecue.
Lack of sleep can mess with your hunger hormones, making you feel hungrier than you actually are. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night.